Thank y'all for tuning back in to your favorite channel. It's your boy Pelican Bay K9's giving it to you the way I always do, fair and unbiased. Some gonna like it, some ain't, man. Y'all hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. Like I always tell brothers, hit that like button right now. Hit that like button right now. And man, I found out, over half of the people that's watching my videos is not subscribed. So if y'all brothers just subscribe, just hit that subscribe button, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Just hit that subscribe button like I told y'all. Big salute out to all the dog lovers from one side of the world to the other side, from my folk in Europe to my folk in all of the Americas. You know what I'm saying? Big salute to my folk across all of Africa. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy PBK9's giving it to you raw and uncut, fair and unbiased. Like I always do. Some gonna like it, some ain't, man. Some gonna like it, some ain't. Let's jump straight into that dog news because we got some things we gonna touch on today. It's gonna kind of touch some nerves today. We're gonna touch some nerves today. We got some talk. We talking about these hound dogs, looking like hound dogs. But let's get into it first with our news. We got a baby who has lost his life in Rochester, New York. You know what I'm saying? By Pitbull or so-called Pitbulls. You know what I'm saying? And this situation, like I said before, if it's not a Pitbull, that also shows that brothers across the country got to start bringing more awareness to the table that these dogs that's doing these attacks are not Pitbulls. These dogs that's doing these attacks are not American Pitbull Terriers, the real full-blooded American Pitbull. But let's get into that news. Baby loses his life, Rochester, New York, Pitbull attack.
Now to our top story.
The one dog that I saw was the most well-behaved dog I've ever seen, actually. And
it's heartbreaking. Where were the parents? What was going on?
Those are questions we've asked Rochester police after a baby was mauled to death by two dogs in Rochester. But investigators are not answering those questions yet. At this point, no arrests have been made in the case.
Investigators tell us the victim was a 3-month-old baby boy. New tonight, News 10 NBC's Marsha Augustin spoke with neighbors who are familiar with those dogs.
This is such a tragic story. The city did confirm the dogs are being held right here at the Rochester Animal Services Shelter. Now, I tried to get in to see the dogs, but the city told me that the dogs are not accessible. So I went into the neighborhood and spoke to neighbors where the dogs lived before they were brought here.
Sure, if the baby's breathing.
I was just mortified. I heard about it this morning and I was very confused because we hadn't heard anything. This happened on Saturday. And how can something like this happen? How? It makes no sense. I'm at a loss for words, honestly.
Neighbors are heartbroken after hearing a baby boy's life was taken away viciously by two pit bull-type dogs. Police say last Saturday, around 1 p.m., first responders went to Bidwell Terrace for reports of a dog attack on an infant. They found the 3-month-old with severe trauma to his body. He died at the hospital.
I honestly felt sad. I just felt like it was pretty unfortunate. Because as we know, a 3-month cannot defend himself at all.
I spoke with a neighbor who didn't want to be shown on camera. She told me she's seen the dogs before and says one tried to attack her daughter's dog.
I heard my oldest daughter screaming. She has like a little Shih Tzu. She had him tucked on her shoulder, to her side. And my daughter and myself, we came out with a rake and a bat, trying to protect her to get the dog away.
Monique Moore says her family has also had frightening encounters with the dogs.
She would tell me, she would say, Monique, it's a pit bull loose on the street, and she just run the kids back in the yard. But dogs do get away, and we just have to, be safe.
Rick Steinmetz lives across the street from the home where the dog attack happened. He says the one dog he is familiar with is well behaved.
This dog I watched walk past a cat in the middle of the driveway, not even flinch. Walk past my animals, was around children, never flinched. I don't believe that little one had anything to do with whatever may have happened.
Kenneth Howard, another neighbor, believes this could have been avoided.
It just was an unfortunate incident. Should have never happened.
Rochester police say an investigation is underway by the Major Crimes Unit, the District Attorney's Office, as well as Child Protective Services. No charges have been filed at this time. Reporting from Rochester, Marsha Augustin, News 10, NBC.
We've contacted City of Rochester officials about those dogs. They tell us there were no previous calls or complaints about them.
It's always an unfortunate situation when somebody gets hurt behind a dog, but it's even more unfortunate when it's a baby that gets hurt behind a dog. So when it comes to these bad habits and things with these dogs, we need to correct them with these puppies and stuff when they're young. If you know, or if you got a puppy or anything, and you see bad habits in your dog, correct them at a young age, because it's going to be easier to correct it now than when this dog get older and he's going to be a force to reckon with, and then he might bite somebody or hurt somebody before he's actually have a chance to be corrected. So correct it now, man, while these dogs are young. If you see a dog where he's a grown dog and you see where he's going to be a problem, don't overlook that problem. You may be doing something you really don't want to do by getting rid of them or putting them down or whatever, but don't overlook that problem, because one day it'll pop up, when he feel like he want to be the man. So let's just correct them bad habits when it comes to them dogs, man. Now, I do want to say this, the Blue Ice bloodline. The Blue Ice bloodline, I seen brothers speaking about it on Facebook. I do want to say this to my younger and older brothers who maybe, don't know. The Blue Ice bloodline is not American Pitbull Terrier bloodline. It is a bloodline that a brother owns, and is his bloodline, but they are not American Pitbull Terriers. If you take the Blue Ice and you cross it to a Red Boy Jocko, is not for any brother who may be thinking about doing that. You will have a crossbred dog. It will not be Bolio going to Eli, Red Boy going to Jocko, or Red Boy going to Jeep or something. No, it's going to be another breed going to Pitbull. So it's the same thing as saying the Dark Dynasty dog, Hawk dog, is not American Pitbull Terrier. We all know that. Any Pitbull enthusiast, any fancier, anybody will know that them dogs is not American Pitbull Terrier. They know it. It's just simple, and it ain't really too much to talk about with it. It's just not American Pitbull Terrier bloodline. It's not taking no credit from the dogs. It's just not American Pitbull Terrier bloodline. Now, y'all hit that like button up. Y'all hit that subscribe button up. You know what I'm saying? And thank you to my new subscribers. Thank you to my new subscribers, man. I see y'all. I'm rocking with y'all. Let me know if y'all got questions. Let me know if y'all want me to talk about something or put out some particular content. Holler at me. Keep me, stay eye to eye with me, so I know what's what when it comes to this dog talk and this news and different things. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want to make a correction about something I said in my last video. Raisins, they aren't good for your dog. It slipped up on my last video. I don't know what I was thinking. Everybody know or should know raisins is harmful for your dog. Chocolate is harmful for your dog, at least dark chocolate. But if you want to be safe, stay away from all chocolate with your dog. And raisins. Do not give your dog no raisins. Harmful, and will take your dog out pretty fast if you give it to him or make him sick. It could kill him fast. Could kill him fast. Now, I do want to speak about the brother was saying about the 4 years. We were speaking about that on the last video. The 4 years would it take, 4 generations would it take to breeding a dog? And I asked him, and he made a response. He said, I asked him, if I'm breeding the same line for 4 generations, how does that go? He said, they'll be my dogs, but his blood, which I can understand that scenario, okay? But my whole thing is, if it takes a cross to make it my blood, then the first cross I make is my blood. That first breeding I make is my blood. I don't have to wait 4 generations. Next thing I want to say, and like I said, I'm speaking now, is not to say to say that brother is wrong or nothing like that. What I'm saying now is just I'm asking, keeping the conversation going. One cross is all I gotta make. If a cross is all that's needed to make it my blood, one cross is all I gotta make. And we were speaking about it'll be my dogs with his blood, but the thing about it, all the breedings that I made, will be dogs that he didn't have, dogs that he didn't create. Even though it's the same blood that he was running, it's no different than him running the Mayfield blood. He didn't create that Chavis blood, he was just running it. He didn't create the Red Boy Jocko, they were just running it. And they made their dogs famous. Big John was famous before he made 4 generations of puppies. Like I say about all the dogs from back then. Them brothers made names for their dogs. They weren't relying on who the dogs was coming off of and trying to talk about 4 generations and all that other stuff, you know. But at the end of the day, like I said, none of the answers or none of the responses that my brothers or sisters are make about that are wrong. You know, we're in this thing to talk about it together. But if it only takes a cross, then I shouldn't have to wait 4 generations. You know, you telling me I gotta wait 4 generations after making a cross? You know, come on, man. Y'all brothers gonna be waiting all y'all life to make a bloodline when you could have did it on the first year you got your dog. First year you ever got your dog when you was in your 20s, could have did it. You know, but you want to wait till you're 70. No, man. Hey, it just is what it is. Now, let's talk about this training, man. When it comes to training and putting pressure on dogs, brothers put pressure on these protection dogs, and dogs, let it training in that format. They put pressure and stress on them the same way the brothers did back in the days with the game dogs when you put them in deep water. Put them in deep water, 2-dogging them, 3-dogging them, putting stress on a protection dog, a Malinois, Rottweiler, Doberman, stressing them to see one thing. All you want to find out is one particular thing, you know, when it comes to that. When you putting that dog in deep water, when you're trying to see one thing, can you have supreme confidence in this dog? That's what it's all about. It's all about having supreme confidence in the dog that you're dealing with. No matter if it's coon dog, fox dog, hunting dog, hog dog, whatever kind of dog you got, you want to put them in deep water. You want to put them out there where it's not easy for him, where he going to have to use his mind to get through this one. You know, he going to have to think this one through. You know, putting them in deep water, that's what it's all about. Getting a dog that can handle that stress and still perform at the level he was performing when it was easy for him. You know, can he still perform the way he was performing yesterday? And that's what it's all about, man. Testing these dogs. And when I say that about pit bulls, I'm talking about for all the events you're going to. Anything you competing in, you can do tests. You can check these dogs. I'm talking about making sure they are right before you get to these confirmations, these weight pulls and things like that. That's what it's all about, man. Making sure these dogs can be trusted when you're taking them out to do whatever they got to do. Now, I want to speak on this situation. Brother C.L. Edwards was saying something about he liked the Pro and Game Mag channel, and if we wouldn't have said nothing about credentials and different things like that, he would have still been up, you know. And he was saying something about shaking my head to the black on black, taking each other down thing. Okay, now I want to speak on that, my brother. You know, for one, when it comes to credentials, it's like this. You know, Stephen A. can speak, Skip Bayless can speak. All them brothers who never played a lick of ball can speak. But when you getting in the arena with the players, when you start conversating with the players, you know, it's a different conversation got to be held. You know, you can't be dissing the players when you never did nothing, for one, and then you giving advice to brothers about how to play basketball, how to play football. When you never touched the basketball, you never touched the football, you never played rec league, let alone the NBA. You know, you never did backyard, let alone the fast lane. You know, that's what took him out. You know, what took him out. You know, when we be honest with you, Brother C. Edwards, you know, it ain't black on black. It's what you call crack on crack. You know, crack on crack took him out. Crack is a hellified thing and a hellified drug. Michael Jordan get on crack, he gone. What about the brother Manny go to one of them? Crack will take the all-stars out, will take the superstars down. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a black on black thing when it came to that situation. You know what I'm saying? It was a whole different situation. You know, and now let me bring it to you like this. You know, because that brother did his fair share of trying to take brothers down. You know, whether it was black or white. Let's start with Mr. Boudreaux. You know, said the man could barely walk, said he couldn't walk, said he was too old, this and that, couldn't get around. See, what you can say is Mr. Boudreaux dogs is nothing. They're bull jive. I wouldn't get none of these dogs. These dogs aren't my kind of dogs. But what you can't say is disrespect like that, because that's a whole different kind of disrespect. You know, and then he went to talk about his son and his personal situations that he got going on. You know, we just gonna talk about it like this, man. So after he finished talking about Mr. Boudreaux and his folk, he went to Bakary. You know what I'm saying? Talking about Bakary and different things. It's different when you talk about dogs, but when you talk personal stuff, it's a whole nother thing. And then it's different when you a player. You know, your credentials don't match up. You know, you can't talk about folk when you wasn't a player. You can talk about them from a analysis point of view, but you can't talk about them from that other point of view. You know, then he went from that to going hard. You know, talking about people with credentials. You know, Coach Blue, Maul Cunt. He said, talked about me. Talked about 7-8 Sports, Rasta Man. Said Rasta Man was doing something with the dogs. Certain things with the dogs on the cheating tip. You know, making up stuff. So it wasn't black on black took him out. You know, it was the crack on crack that took him out. You know, like I said before. And I'm gonna straight up tell you, I'm the only thing other than y'all brothers that gave him a cash app. He never got paid off YouTube besides through me. I paid him on my show. You know, every time he came on my show, I paid him. Even when I didn't make money, I paid him. And his own show not even monetized. Try to support him through whatever he was going through. But then he turned around and jumped on them boys' channel, and I don't know what was going on that night, you know? But at the end of the day, man, you can't blame nobody for what he got going on besides that crack. You know, that's the only thing you can blame. And everybody got their own habits, you know what I'm saying? But you can't blame nobody else for something we know that crack gonna do, you know? And it just is what it is, man. You can't blame nobody but drugs. You can't bring that color card into that situation, you know? Sometimes it seems like this dog game they want a good story, you know? They don't want a real story, they want a good story when it comes to this dog game. You know, the real story makes a lot of brothers mad. A lot of brothers say all kind of stuff. You know, they can't take the real story, but they want a good story when it comes to these dogs, man. Fairy tale, you know, a lot of brothers need to get into writing books besides me and a lot of these other brothers out here, you know, because there's a whole lot more authors than y'all even proclaiming. You know, a lot of y'all boys are storytellers. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is, you know? Now, let's talk about Red Boy real quick, you know, because we was talking about PEDs and PEDs, do PEDs matter and stuff like that. Red Boy is a good example. Red Boy is the perfect example of your PEDs don't matter. You know, Red Boy is the perfect example, and I don't got to say it much. I don't got to stick to the subject long. You know, Red Boy is a perfect example of pedigrees don't matter. You know, nobody really knows his real ped. One of the best producers in the world. You know, only reason he got papers is because brothers needed papers to sell them puppies they got. You know, and he just put them in where he fit in at on the yard. It was what it was. Such a great producer. It don't matter about all that. You know, it don't matter about all that. And that's the prime example for a dog represent himself for getting them papers. Them papers ain't make Red Boy, because little do you know that stuff they gave you for till and all them is fake. A lot of brothers know it, but it's fake. So them papers don't matter. You know, whatever he got inside him, some hellified stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some hellified stuff. Now, somebody was on Facebook. Let me put you on something. Somebody was on Facebook talking about getting dogs' ears clipped, asking about people. Was it somebody around that can clip dogs' ears or something like that? Don't you know that you asking for a charge, my brother or my sister? I done played videos where brothers getting charged and locked up for clipping dogs' ears illegally. You know, anything outside of the vet when it comes to clipping dogs' ears is not to be talked about on no public platform if you're trying to get it dead, because you will go to jail. You know, them folk not playing about clipping them dogs' ears, you know, outside of a vet. They call it animal cruelty. You know, harsh treatment of an animal. You know what I'm saying? Cruel treatment of an animal. You know, so I'm just putting that out there, man. crazy stuff we see on Facebook, you know. And like I said, man, I got that video coming for y'all brothers. The scatterbred, purebred. We're gonna talk about NASCAR, but that's gonna be on the next video. So y'all make sure y'all tune in to that video as well. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna talk about some things on this video. You know, we're gonna talk about some things on this one. Now, when it comes to brothers say they had great dogs in the past, you know, I just got one question. You know, were they seeking or were they waiting? You know, were they seeking or were they waiting? A lot of brothers claim these dogs were so great when they was waiting on shows. You know, it's easy to catch somebody slipping when you're waiting on stuff. But when you're seeking, you know where the best at. You go find the best. A lot of brothers didn't look for the best. They just look for a win. You know how many brothers look for a win? A higher percentage of brothers look for a win more than they look for the better dog. You know, we all hear, oh, this dog here is for showstopper. But you don't go find that dog. You try to get you 2 or 3 wins without dealing with that dog. You know, and it always been like that. You got brothers who was waiters and brothers who was seekers. You know what I'm saying? They seeking some action. You know, looking for the best. They ain't looking for no bull jump. You know, they ain't want to waste their time. They seeking the best. You know, and then you got the brothers who waiting, sitting around waiting for somebody to come and they can catch a greenhorn slipping out there, or somebody with a weak dog, or somebody with a dog where they think they might can take or something like that. You know, them the waiters. You know, you had seekers and you had waiters. You know, let's keep this thing rolling, man. And this dog thing, man, you got to stand on your own 2 feet. You know, stand on your own 2. And this dog thing, man, it just is what it is. You know, some gonna like it, some ain't. That's all I can say about that. You know, now let's talk about these hound dogs, man, off yellow, you know, and some of these other dogs off yellow with these looks. We're gonna compare the dogs and the looks, and do they look like hound dogs? And we're gonna see how many of them look like hound dogs, how many of them look like pit bulls, you know. Hound dogs are pit bulls when it comes to yellow offspring, and I'm not gonna be able to call all of them out. I'm just gonna call a good number of them out, and we're gonna check the dogs out, and we even speak about how they bred as well. You know, oh boy, look here, we got something else to talk about too. You know, because looking when I'm doing this work right here, I fell upon something else, and I'm gonna show y'all brothers. You know, I fell upon something else. Now, before I get into that, I will say, you know, when I was the 19-year-old brothers from the 80s and the 90s were far more advanced than a 19-year-old brother now in the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying? A 19-year-old from the late 20s compared to a 19-year-old in the 80s and in the 90s, way less advanced. You know, yeah, you know how to play a video game or 2 better, but when the brothers from that era learn how to play video games and that type of technology and stuff too, you know, you just way behind. But anyway, you know, I was just saying that to say, you know, your average 19-year-old back then will out hunt a 20-year-old, 20-some-year-old going on 30-some-year-old now. You know, your average 18, 19-year-old back then, you know, would out hunt your late 20s, early 30s now. Bulldogger, you know, and that ain't to discredit nobody. It's just telling you the way times change. You know, now, like I said, let's talk about these hound dogs. When it comes to yellow offspring and the hound dogs, you know, me, myself, you know, I pretty much think they all bulldogs, but we just gonna get into this hound dog talk. All right, you got champion hardcore's Bozak. You know, hardcore Bozak. And the thing about hardcore Bozak, he's got Jeep on the bottom side, you know, and he kind of took the mix of the Jeep and the yellow look. You know, he don't got a full yellow look, and he really don't got a full Jeep look, but if you had to go to one, I'll go more with the Jeep look with him. You know, so he don't got the hound dog look. You know, he don't got the hound dog look. Now, when we go, the first question, we're going to go to AAA. Let's just go to AAA. You know, where in the hell did that brindle come from? Where the hell did that brindle come from? It's only one other brindle dog that we know of that come off that stuff, and that's the Gainey Jr. dog. You know, and I'm not saying AAA not off yellow, but I'm just asking brothers, where in the heck do that brindle come from in AAA? You know, where does it come from? And like I said, the Gainey Jr. dog was brindle as well. You know, but AAA don't look like a hound dog. You know, now when I'm looking through all these dogs that we're gonna get to, I got the Red Devil. You know, and what I found out about Red Devil was something we already knew what happened with Red Devil. You know, but I see something else shiesty with Red Devil. You know, what I see is 2 different pictures posted up with Red Devil from 2 different times, you know, but the pictures look like 2 different dogs, you know, 2 different dogs. The dog in the picture couldn't have got that much white on his face in that short amount of time that was posted. Like, say, one picture was posted in 01 and the other picture was posted in 04. The dog couldn't have start looking that much of a difference in the matter of years, you know. So you got 2 different pictures. Let me show y'all, brothers. One of Red Devil, and then the other of Red Devil. You know, and I don't know which one of the Red Devils this is, you know, but we already know the real story that Red Devil went upstate somewhere and died on that brother yard, upstate. The real Red Devil, you know, died upstate. But at the end of the day, Red Devil don't got the hound dog look, you know. Now let's look at Terrence Travis. He don't got the hound dog look, you know. Looks a little bit like the Jeep stuff, you know, because that's in his bottom side. He got the Jeep stuff and the Honey Bunch stuff in his bottom side. Now, if you look at Terrence Travis and you look at the Jeep and the Honey Bunch dogs, he took more from that compared to the yellow. You know, still no hound dog look. You know, even if they saying that's the right picture of Travis or the wrong picture of Travis, it's still not a hound dog looking dog. Okay? Now, from that, we go to Burn Stumpy. Now, Burn Stumpy is a dog that you could be for sure is off yellow because Mr. Cruz is on the bottom side, and Mr. Cruz, you know, he knew when David went rogue. He knew when David started breeding and doing bad breeding techniques with that dog. And if it say Mr. Cruz on the bottom, you can best believe it's really off Grand Champion yellow. You know what I'm saying? When they start having all that other stuff, tant, you know, you don't know what you got. Well, if you got Cruz on the bottom side, he had the female, bred tant male, you can best believe, because that was Cruz male as well. So Burn Stumpy, you know, we know he coming off yellow, and we don't see no hound dog look at him at all. You know, Southern Styles yellow too. Southern Styles yellow too. Great looking dog. No hound dog look in him. Vietnam's Goldfinger. No hound dog look. Yellow top and bottom. You know, yellow top and bottom. And I'm just calling these dogs names out because we want to figure out where does Mayday look come from in Mayday. And especially where does Mayday look come from in Mayday, being that we know Tant and Mr. Burns, Mr. Hollingsworth, Tant and Mr. Hollingsworth had problems with that litter. You know, had problems, had a beef going on with that litter. So where does this bulky hound dogish dog come from? You know, is it straight pit, just the genetics? You know, maybe it is, maybe it ain't. But let's keep this thing going. We got Vietnam Goldfinger. No hound dog look. You know, yellow top and bottom. Cruz Goldie. Damn show don't look like a hound dog, you know, and we know that's coming off yellow. Now, Terrence Dudley got more of that Red Devil look. He don't look like a hound dog, you know, and it's like there's one particular litter coming out throwing these dogs, that Mayday stuff. There's one particular litter. Now, we got Premier Kennels, Yellow Man, no hound dog look. You know, no hound dog look at all. And we got Burns Big Head, no hound dog look. And we got a dog called Zelgico's Yellow Jr. You know, and don't look like a hound dog. So I pretty much was strolling through all the offspring that had pictures up there and just comparing the pictures compared to Mayday. Mayday himself. Not Mayday offspring, but Mayday himself. You know, where did that look come from? Yellow don't look like that. You know, the Hollingsworth dog don't look like that. Where did that look come from? And like I said, they got 2 different pictures of Red Devil uploaded on online page, you know. But we already know Red Devil wasn't, you know, it ain't what they say it is when it comes to that Red Devil stuff. It's not what they say it is. That's another thing brothers get mad about. You know, brothers straight up tell you somebody stole the dog and they took the dog to another yard, and everybody want to get mad at me talking about I'm hating on Pit Island, this and that, and this and that. Listen here. The man told you. You thought it was a devil, red devil, but it was another red devil, you know? And it's just simple as that, man. Just simple as that. You got good dogs, you know, they just off the second red devil. Tan ain't tell you he had 5 red devils. They just off the second one, you know, instead of the first one. But where that hound dog look come from, man? I done pull up numerous dogs coming off yellow, you know. None of these dogs look like hound dogs at all. You know, Mayday is a great dog, great producing dog. You know, can't say nothing bad about him. Another one of them dogs that we can say papers don't matter when it come to Mayday. You know, he is that dog. You know, whether he got hound dog in him, whether he got basset hound in him, cane corso in him, he is that dog that they say he was. You know. So papers don't matter. He can have whatever papers he want. But the brothers who knew him and seen him perform and knew about that dog would have bred to him regardless. Would have bred to him regardless. You know? But like I said, man, y'all don't forget to hit that like button up down there, man. Y'all don't forget to hit that like button up. And big salute to all the folk that's new to the channel. Big salute to all the folk that's been rocking with me from day one. You know, been rocking with me from the start. You know what I'm saying? I just had to address a few things. You know, this video, man, that brothers was bringing to the table and wanted me to talk about. Like I said, a lot of things brothers do on these YouTube channels, you know, you can't blame nobody else for what your channel didn't do. You know what I'm saying? You got to blame your actions for that. You know, same thing with me. If my channel don't do something, I can't blame you for it. I got to blame me for my channel not doing something. Something I did wrong or something I'm doing right, you know, or whatever. But I can't blame you for my channel. You got to blame yourself. You the one got control of that. You know, I'm the one got control of this. He had control of his channel, you know, so that's all you could blame is him. He couldn't control it. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Y'all brothers stay safe out there, man. Y'all brothers stay legitimate out there. You know, don't never be out there doing nothing illegal with y'all dogs, man. Don't be out there doing nothing illegal with y'all dogs. And always keep this in the back of your head. You know, two them dogs got hound dog in them. You know, because they look too much like hound dogs. That brother had a picture of Barracuda up there the other day with, I want to say that's one of them torso dogs or something. Man, I didn't know the difference. I didn't know which one was Barracuda. You know, I did not know which dog was Barracuda. Side by side with that dog. And that's a shame. That's when you know something ain't right in the pudding. Something ain't right in the bucket, my brothers. You know, but it don't matter now. It's just dog talk. Dog talk. Dog talk, man. Y'all hit that like button up. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay legal for sure. The most important thing, stay legal. And remember, you know, when we talk about things that's historical things from the past, you know what I'm saying? Nobody living like that now. And the ones who living like that, they going to be up on PBK9's Dog Talking News. Y'all stay safe, and I'm out.